My name is Roger. Without doubt, the best way to go out of business today is to have a cyber event. If you use the CareMIT business security strategy, then the impact of a cyber event can be greatly reduced, but not totally removed. As a result, your organisation will not only be more secure against a cyber event, it will have the ability to adapt to today's changing business environment. Your organisation will be able to change directions without changing the underlying capability and security. You don't need to reinvent your security paradigm, so your organisation will be able to flourish. The underlying security systems will improve your organisation's capability to get things done. We love this stuff. We have grown significantly in the last 12 months. We have won personal and professional awards. More importantly, we understand the problems and issues associated with the bad guys and why they are targeting you. In the first part of this video, I will explain the problems that you and your organisation may be facing when it comes to not having a secure and stable business environment. I will make the case for why you need to use the information in this video, underpinned by our methodology, to have that business platform that allows your organisation to thrive in today's dangerous cyber world. In the second part of this video, I will deconstruct the CareMIT business security system in a way that you can understand why you need it in today's rarefied and ever-changing business world. I will also show you how to get a free copy of my second book, Cybercrime: A Clear and Present Danger, and once it is printed, get a free copy of my third book, Business Security, because it's not rocket science, delivered to you at the same address. First, I have made some assumptions. Your organisation is thriving, you know what you are doing, and you know how you are doing it correctly to make it thrive. You have thought that you need to make better security for your organisation, but do not know where or when to start. You are not looking for a single protection that will do it all, one ring to rule them all, because you know that would be not a prudent strategy. You have made some unsubstantiated statements along the way in your business and personally. We are too small to be a target. We have nothing worth stealing, and it will never happen to us. Bottom line, you would like your business to survive and thrive today and still be around in 10 years' time without experiencing the detrimental impact of a cyber event. I'm going to cover why cyber and the digital world is so misunderstood by looking at risk and governance and compliance, why your ICT department is overworked because of the technology that you are introducing to your organisation, and why you need to train your staff and managers on what they understand is bad and what to do when something happens with a continuous improvement strategy. So if you like what you hear and would like to understand more about this strategy, then it's easy enough to register for a chat by clicking on the chat link under this video, which I will explain later. So why do we need such a big deal, or why do we make such a big deal about protecting your business using our systems and method? We don't have to. There are plenty of other ways for our clients to protect their business. Information is readily available to anyone and everyone on the internet. Information based on best practices, cutting-edge technology, and a misrepresentation of how the bad guys target everybody. All of this information sold to you by salespeople looking to make a quick buck. So why our system, and why the goal of building a secure, reactive system for your business? Well, without a holistic paradigm around your business, none of these other components will be effective. To understand, you have to look at what Moore's Law, cloud technology, and your business have in common. In 1968, Gordon E. Moore, the co-founder of Intel, came up with an observation. He observed that the number of transistors on a circuit board doubled each year, but the cost of that board would halve. This simple rule, up until 2019, was the driving force behind the leaps we have made in technology in the last 40 years. It has heralded the introduction of new technologies like machine learning and the Internet of Things. It has also added to our burden of doing business by requiring our business to constantly update and upgrade our systems, even though our internal attitudes are, there's nothing wrong with it. If it's not broken, why do we fix it? In 2014, a new technology was introduced to business. This technology became known as the cloud. It was a way for SMEs to leverage other people's computers to run their business. It changed the costing and expense of doing business from a significant capital expense, a CapEx, to a monthly cost, OpEx. Thousands of dollars to buy hardware, operating systems and capacity replaced with a monthly operation expense based on the number of people using the system. This allowed anyone to use the best technology, cutting edge or bleeding edge, without the monumental cost and investment of owning and running that system. So faster and faster computers in locations where you are hiring only part of the system, think Office 365, allows any business to scale, grow and adapt without the added cost to revenue. This is the part of business technology that all business now embrace. Cheap computer cycles for any organization and operation to use as they see fit. The problem with all of these systems is that we have lost sight of two things: security and privacy. In addition, we do not know where our data is, who has access to it, what risks or vulnerabilities are now incorporated in these systems. Add in our migration of bad security practices from our network and terrestrial systems to the cloud, then you realize that our growth can definitely be impacted by our inability to protect that data, systems, and our users. When it comes to security, more had to be done. But as I mentioned before, where do you start? How do you do it? And how do you do it without having to redo everything with every change of technology? The same technology we embrace to improve our business brings its own unique security problems. So with all of this going on, how do you come up with a way to secure your business and organization when you do not know what to do? There are three things that will improve your security. One is to come up with a rating capability that allows you to internally measure your business security capability. The second is to understand the new risks that have been leveled against your business from and by the digital components that you embrace to do business. And the third is using a combination of security requirements that, when applied systematically, tighten security around the business piece by piece. So if you look at this graphic, if your business is doing well, we grow, usually exponentially. If something happens, not just a cyber event, a natural disaster, for instance, then that growth can be stunted in ways we have not foreseen. The two most recent events to impact the business in Australia have been bushfires and the coronavirus. But there will always be challenges within your business environment. Both problems impacted us. No matter the business, you need to diversify. All the eggs in one basket type issue, well, we diversified. We have three capabilities in our organization. We are a managed service provider, a security management and coaching organization, and we teach cybersecurity at university. We diversified to ensure we always have a steady revenue stream. Based in Canberra, several of our clients are on the coast or in between Canberra and the coast. With the 6 weeks closing of Kings Highway, time to coast went from 90 minutes to 9 hours. Our revenue from university was then impacted by having courses cancelled due to the coronavirus. Between November and February, we lost an average of 37% in revenue per month. But if you think about it, these are just normal risks that have been around for decades, if not centuries. Cyber event can be more devastating. Loss of a database, loss of accounting's PC, a break in the supply chain deliveries, or the encryption of all your data can reduce your revenue from 5% to 100% literally overnight. Diversified revenue is one thing, but having an unknown single point of failure can really ruin your day. Single points of failure in systems often go unnoticed until after the fact. The fastest way to improve your business security is to make sure you understand the risks. To mitigate risks, you must reduce, remove, transfer, or accept those risks using policy, people, and technology. Understanding there is no such thing as 100% secure, but always having a way back to business as normal, as well as improving your ability to track and increase the visibility of what's under the hood, are also important components of doing business in today's digital world. Those 5 factors are then enhanced by understanding today's business world is always going to embrace the next new and shiny way to make money. And we need to be able to incorporate it into business without changing the security paradigm of the business itself. Directors and management often forget that business security is not just about protection. When done correctly, it allows your business several important capabilities in 21st century business. It allows a business to pivot. A quick change in the way you do business can put you miles ahead of your competition, but you need to be able to do that as safely and securely as possible. Protecting your clients, your data, and your staff is important. Understanding all the risks that allow an organization to do that. It allows a business to change direction, to bring on a new service, a new product, usually exposes an organization to issues within the protective envelope of the organization. By incorporating better security, any direction change can be protected by what is already in place, then augmented with new risk reduction strategies. It allows business to change or react to change. The introduction of the smartphone in 2008 and the introduction of social media in 2014 are very good examples of change within business or within your industry. Both changed the way we do business. I do not have a crystal ball and I cannot see the future, but I want to make sure that my business will see the change, apply our security principles to the change, and continue to be secure. It creates better understanding of our supply chain requirements. A carpenter cannot do much without wood, a plumber pipes, a service-based industry without people to deliver their solution. Any impact on your raw material will impact your organization. Alternative suppliers, additional components, different sources. If you have alternative trusted suppliers, then you are always in a better position than your competition who does not. It allows you to leverage your security requirements into other organizations. You are always working with other organizations or for other organizations. If you have taken the care to protect your business from cyber event, then you are going to be cautious with trusting everybody or someone else who cannot prove they are doing the same protective standard as you. It protects your reputation. A cyber event will impact your business in a number of ways, but the reputational hit can cause significant issues. Impact on revenue, capabilities, and people will be significant just by impacting your reputation. Recovering your reputation can take years. This is where the CareMIT business security system comes into the play. We have studied data from hundreds of organizations, and we have taken the time to crunch some of the numbers. From those numbers, we have come up with a tried and tested solution. There are 6 areas that all business need to address to be a secure organization. The first one is risk and governance. Looking at the risk management of the business and understanding the governance required for the business or the organization and the industry. Calculating where you are, where you need to be, how you are going to get there, and in addition, what is the risk appetite of your organization? Risky business or safe as houses? It's your choice. You are the one who are taking the risks. Policy and compliance. Creating procedures and process, implementing policy, initiating plans, and using that documentation and systems to reduce the risk to the organization. This allows an organization to be more flexible and reactive while ensuring that everybody knows what is expected of them. People and education. The importance of educating and training can never be over-exaggerated. Teach your staff to recognize threats and implement responses is one of the best inexpensive cyber defenses available. Since phishing is the #1 attack weapon of the digital criminal, enlighten your staff to the ways of the bad guys can only be a bonus. The fourth point, technology and frameworks. If you think that the store-bought ISP provided internet connection device is going to protect your organization, then you are wrong. Upping your game to business level requirements is a huge leap in building security. Implementing the DIS framework also shows the seriousness of your resolve in protecting your organization. The NIST system gives you a score up to 4. It allows you to understand where you are, with security, but also allows you to compare your score with others in your industry or in your supply chain. Fifth, resilience and detection. No matter what, your business needs to have the ability to get back to business as normal. It all has to be done as soon or as fast as possible. Thinking through resilience needs to be done well before an event. The detection of a cyber event has to be based on changes that you can see within the network. You need systems that will see these changes and then report them to someone or something that will action the alerts. And the final part is continuous improvement. Business changes, technology changes. We will never want to be in the situation of not being secure, but you also do not want to be able to be locked down by a system that does not allow change. We have incorporated systems that allow for change without changing the security levels and without having to reinvent the whole system again and again and again. For you to get a better understanding of the security around your organization, we have developed the CareMIT Business Security Scorecard. Thousands of organizations have used the card to quantify and benchmark their security and understand the gaps between what is in place, what they think is in place, and what they need to have in place. This allows an organization to focus their energy on the areas where the change or improvement are needed. I'm going to encourage you to pause this video. Go to this URL, https://caremit.scoreapp.com and complete the 48 yes and no questions. It's free, takes about 10 minutes to complete, and within 10 minutes of completion, you will have a report delivered to your mailbox. The report will instantly give you a ranking of these 6 areas of your business. As a bonus for taking the time to complete the scorecard, I will post you out a copy of my second book. And once completed, I will post you out a copy of my third book when it is published. So pause the video. Do it now. I'll be here when you get back. When you come back, I will go through each of the steps that you can benchmark your score against my commentary. Okay, welcome back. What does the report prove in your risk management and governance mark? I want you to think of this. Your business has recently improved some systems, implementing change on how you do business. A new computer, a new phone system, a better internet connection, a move of certain areas to the cloud. Most of these decisions were based on 2 factors: improved business capability and reduced costs. The security of these systems was probably not addressed correctly for the simple fact that questions needed to be asked. What problems and challenges need to be addressed? Unless you know and understand the capabilities of the cyber criminal, asking the right focused questions can be difficult. The risk to your organization can come in several ways. How much damage a cyber event does can also be measured. A cyber event can cause you to lose customers. How many customers would you need to lose to take a hit in revenue and profits? Any cyber event could cause business disruption. How long can your organization be incapable of delivering products or services before it impacts your capability to bring in revenue and new business? A cyber event comes with fines. What are they? What is the triggering point for fines? Who will you be paying the fines to? A cyber event will come with a legal problem. Are you going to be sued? Have you made the process as hard as possible by doing everything that you can? Ambulance chasers are out there. You need to make your business hard to sue to a level that it is known in the industry that you have done everything that was possible to protect your data. A cyber event will be public relations nightmare. When it happens, why it happened, what you should have done to avoid it happening again. A cyber event can compromise client and staff records as well as your data. What was exposed? What information was stolen? Was it used? Was it used in such a way that it was sold on the dark web? A cyber event can be a direct financial loss to you and your business. An incorrect payment to a scammed bank account, is it recoverable? Who do you need to notify when it comes to a cyber event? Do you have an industry watchdog, compliance regulations, privacy issues? Has your cyber events compromised credit card data, and are you needed to rectify the situation with credit card reissues, identity repair and credit monitoring? After a cyber event, what remedial steps, lessons learned and forensics are required or needed to get back to business as normal and to discover what happens? As you can see, a cyber event can literally and figuratively turn your business into a smouldering wreck. Not understanding the risks heightens the impact of an attack. So, how do you score on risk and governance? A low score in this area could mean that you are exposing your organisation to unnecessary and unknown risks. This exposure can have negative and detrimental effects on cash flow, revenue and profits within your organisation. Struggling to understand your digital security risks and governance could impact your business significantly. A low score in this area usually means that you must take steps from the business to look at the risks in a different light. A low score in this area usually means that you must step back from the business and look at your risks in a different light. If you are interested in improving this score or any of the scores, you need to register by clicking on the box on this page named Request More Information. And we will get back to you and organise a one-on-one with one of our team. It is either Zoom or Skype, super convenient, gives you a chance to get some personal feedback on our principles. We can help you start to customise some strategies and see if there is a fit between your organisation and ours. So the next area is policy and compliance. We now have a better understanding of the risks within the business, so we need to do something about it. When you look at risks, there are 4 ways to mitigate a risk. You can accept it, you can transfer it, you can remove it, or you can reduce it. All 4 mitigating principles can be achieved with the next 3 areas of the CareMIT Business Security Strategy. They do work individually, or they can be combined to achieve a removal of a risk. The traditional approach to mitigation does not normally work for SMEs. There are 4 areas where a business can use policy and compliance to mitigate these risks. You can write a policy that everybody understands and have that policy enacted in the business. Everyone knows their responsibility, and the business has a way of protecting itself. For instance, an internet policy. Explain the business expectations of what people on your staff can do when interacting with the internet. Implement a procedure. If you want a specific way for someone or something to be done, then a procedure allows staff members in the organisation to do what needs to be done. It can be used by anybody who needs access to that job or procedure. You can write a process. Best example of process is a change to most important asset, your organisation's point of truth. Your customer database, your accounting system, anything that you know to be correct. A 2-person process needs to be enacted to ensure that if you are requested to change information in that system, there are checks and balances incorporated in your business to allow you not to get scammed. Email to a check account or a bank details can be verified by another person from our truth that we know is true. Or you can create a plan. Best example of a plan, business continuity. How to keep the lights on and the business working in the event of an issue. Everybody in the organisations knows the plan and knows what to do and what is involved. With all 4 of these, there are standards that can be created by your organisation that is right for you and may not be right for someone else. The policy and compliance components is all about efficiency. Transmitting information across the organisation in a way that everybody understands. More importantly, everybody knows their responsibilities to themselves, the working environment, and the organisation. The third area we have to address for the CareMIT business security system model is people and education. Not only educating the front-facing people on what to look for or how to react, but also we need to look at the additional costs of training staff in the myriad of components that we make up a business in today's digital environment. When it comes to purchasing any digital component for a business, there are two additional questions that need to be asked apart from cost. How much will training be? How much will be implemented along best practice? And what is the continuous update process for the life of a product? People learn in different ways, but business security has to be taught in a fun, gamified way to ensure that your right information is gained. Most organizations look at education as a one-off process, once a year or when you start with the organization. For the compliance and governance requirements, you can train, tick a box. When it comes to real business security and having educated staff and effective staff, more is needed. Not only do you need a basic business security course with refreshers and tests every 2 or 3 months, but to turn your staff into top security team, you need to challenge them. Discussions, regular lunch and learns, daily quizzes with prizes. We found that works really well. A question a day via email. First correct answer wins a prize. Then compound it by making it a weekly or a monthly prize. Easy enough to set up, but the impact and responsiveness can be significant. Your staff will challenge you and their peers. This is what you want. This component makes your staff and team work for you, and only the most clever and intricate phishing attack could possibly work. Part of the business security system is to create a targeted and tailored education process for your business. We don't know your business. You do, and to put together a structured education and training package, you need to put in the information to make it work. You know your staff, but you also understand the culture of your organization or what will be needed to refocus that culture on the new ways of doing things. Right, let's take a step back for a moment and have a look at the perspective of business security. Defining the risks, putting in policies and educating your staff are already increasing the security around your organization. We have defined the risks to the business. We know how to mitigate those risks by using one or many of the 4 processes. You can transfer that risk. Okay, we make it someone else's problem with warranties, get a service as a service, or we insure. You can do that, reduce the risk of a phishing attack. We can put in a policy in place. We can educate the staff, or with the next component, we can put in some sort of technological control. Any or all of these processes reduce the risk. We can then reinvest or revisit the risk assessment to see if we need to do more. You can ignore the risk. Most people would go, the chances of it happening or the impact when it does is not going to create an issue. But we have documented that we have thought about the risk, and that is important. You can remove it totally, like reducing the risk if you use people, education, compliance, policy, technology, or a framework to remove the risk. Most risk removal is based on changing the way an organization does something. Don't do it that way, do it this way. And here is the policy, process, procedure, training, and technology to do it the new and different way. I forgot. Risk management is a continuous process. It is not set and forget. That is why you regularly have to revisit your risk process just to make sure a new risk is not visible or one of your mitigating risks needs more to be addressed in a different way. The 4th way to mitigate a risk is to combine technology and a framework. This is usually the first step when it comes to organizations not versed in the care business security system. For us, technology is important, but it's not the silver bullet of protection that a lot of other organizations think. There are some exceedingly clever products out there that work well and do what they are built to do. But when it comes to technology, most of the time it is a single focus or capability. Technology also includes your basic business requirements. Computers, laptops, software, printers, internet connection. They have to be the best that you can afford. They have to be the most productive, and they have to be able to last. Remember, we are putting a system around your organization that is focused not only on business, but it has the ability for your organization to change as needed, to adapt to different digital business and be around today or next year. You can't do that if your technology is old, unstable, and slow. The technology combined with your other mitigating strategies is building a secure environment around your business. It is tightening up your systems, but also making it easy to change as required. But technology, policy, compliance, people, and education are not enough. If you do not have a roadmap, the best roadmap available for business is a government system called NIST. NIST, the National Institute of Standard and Technology, have produced a cybersecurity framework called, of all things, the NIST Cybersecurity Framework. This is what it looks like. Like the CBSS, there are sections that have to be completed. But if you have taken the time to do our process, then most of the framework is already done for you. The NIST framework consists of 98 questions. Each question has 5 answers, from I haven't done a bloody thing to in that question field, all the way through to we have completed the requirement, we've documented it, we've signed off at it, and we've implemented. Each question ends with a score between 0 and 4. When all of the questions are complete, they are tallied up and divided by 98. This gives you a number between 0 and 4 that rates your organization as secure, stable, and mature. The higher the score, the better. Most organizations, when first completing this, will get a score between 1 and 2. This is the organization's baseline. It is the starting point. In the words of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, don't panic. Why do you need this? Well, for most of us, when we start down the road to better business security, no one else will be seen doing it. This allows you to go back to your supply chain and questions how they secure their information that you are giving them. If the score is the same as yours, then you have a comparison on how they treat their systems and how they will treat your information, your data, your staff, if you give them that information. If their score is better than you, they may come back and ask you to increase your strategy and your security before they will change their interaction with you. This is what the NIST questionnaire looks like if it is freely downloadable from the government website. We now understand the risk management for the business today's digital world is really important. We know that we have to apply mitigating treatments to change the risk to something that the business will function within the risk appetite of the organization. But what happens if something does happen? This is where step 5 comes in. No matter the situation, your business environment, the viability of your organization depends on your organization getting back to business as normal as fast as possible. If you cannot achieve that, you will have problems with revenue, profit, and capability. How do you get back to business as normal? Well, the first thing you have to do is define what is business as normal. What does your business look like when it's firing on all cylinders? When everything is purring like a 12-cylinder engine? Without that knowledge, you can never get back to business as normal. Once you know what normal is, we need to ensure that everything is recoverable. Building in resilience ensures that you know what normal is and you know what bits are doing what to ensure what that normal is always the situation. The 2 main systems that can be implemented as a business continuity plan and a disaster recovery plan. Both of them are documents that allow your organization and everyone in the organization to gain an insight into how the business works, what is needed and what is needed to get it back to business as normal if something significant happens. It does not end there. An untested plan is just a piece of paper with writing on it. It has to be tested, both hypothetically and physically. It means turning things off. Things have to be turned off, disabled, discussed and tested to ensure that there is everything doesn't go to custard and they will always work. The more testing, the less problems will happen in a real situation. Without the system at 100%, you are not in a position to help your clients inform governance and compliance systems and find out what happened. Learnings, experience, forensics, picking over what happened is an important component of the security paradigm. What happened in the case of a cyber event? How did they get in? What was compromised? What information was stolen? Was it just some of the questions that we really need to address? Not only for yourself, but clients, staff, management, industry, and government will require an explanation. It is important that you know. How to detect what is happening under the hood of your business is once again something that has to be initiated well before the situation occurs. If done correctly, it will give you fair warning. There is a rule within the security industry. The rule is 1-10-60-minute rule. It is based on the following principle: 1 minute to detect, 10 minutes to react, and 60 minutes to confine and control. If you do not have a detective system in place, we have seen it blow out to 90 to 120 days. In that time, the bad guys have stolen all of your intellectual property, financial and client information, and sold it on the dark web. The stunning part of this type of crime, most of the time you don't even know it happened. The detection component of our system is to ensure that systems are in place to detect an infection or attack. These systems consist of a system information and event management system called a SIEM. When implemented correctly, a SIEM will report, monitor, and create predefined alerts to be actioned by what we now call a security operations center. A security operations center can be one person or a team. You now have visibility based on a technological solution that allows your organization to look under the hood at what is going on, and now you have facts to make decisions, and you're not relying on this thing, your gut and intuition. Business change, and because business change, we have to have the systems and capabilities in place to ensure that you are going to take advantage of those changes. The final component of the system is to ensure that change can be incorporated into your business environment, but also to ensure that your new, improved and better systems, training, policy, technology can be implemented with having to change the whole structure of the security paradigm. This is what our security system is all about. Each component is designed to augment, interact and improve the security around your organization with minimal impact on business. It is also designed to allow the organization to see trends, focus on improving revenue by having the capability of changing direction if needed. There are no cul-de-sacs, no ambiguity, no unambiguity, no wasted capability. The business security paradigm is to make your business work better, react faster, and be more nimble than your competition. What you are doing and talking about is not rocket surgery. It's not a hack. It's not a gimmick. It's not a quick fix. Do this and you are secure. It is a complete change to the thinking of how safe and secure your business is, but it also gives your business the capability to change as needed in today's business world. It is a combination of samples and examples of systems, best practice, personal feedback, industry-led risk management practice, and all implemented over a 12-month period. 100% security is impossible, but this system will make sure that you have done everything within your capability to reduce the odds of a breach to the lowest human possible. I have a proposal for you. I have a proposal for you. No matter the obstacle that you are experiencing in your business right now, they will get much worse with the impact of a cyber event. You need to focus all of your business energy on protecting your baby, your business, your organization. You cannot do that by thinking that it will never happen to me, we have nothing worth stealing, or we are too small to be a target. In your heart, you know these rhetorical questions are just a way for you to justify doing nothing or passing the responsibility to someone else without giving them the capability or the resources to actually change the situation. If you really do want to change the security of your business, you need to do something about it. So click on the link. If you've not done the scorecard, do it now and read the report. My name is Roger Smith. I hope you found this useful. I care because you care.